So we have Charli XCX's quarantine release, How I'm Feeling Now, which is 11 songs, 37 minutes long. She announced that she was doing this maybe about a month and a half ago or so, that she's been working on music while being isolated because she's like, what else am I going to do? And this made me, she said that along the lines of, it made me realize I wanted to do some different things or whatever within her music, which I'm like, cool, let's see what happens. And to the polar opposite of Future, she definitely experimented with a lot of different sounds on this album, like a lot.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't really know what to expect because she released Charli at the tail end of last year. So, and we liked that album. It was a good pop album.
The tail end being like late summer, early fall.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now.
Yeah.
It was September.
September. Yeah. So anyways, we liked that album. It was poppy for sure, but like it wasn't anything crazy. We liked the production of it and whatever.
Yeah, within the realm of pop. Like,
yeah.
There's like the really
there's Ariana Grande generic, which I'm not allowed to comment on, and then you have Billie Eilish, you have Troye Sivan, whatever you go, and you got good artists, and Charli's up there now. Especially with this album because, whoa, she did a lot of different shit on this. So it starts with Pink Diamond, which definitely sets the theme of this album where it's more dark in the way, but her voice still makes it, it's interesting. It's like playing with dark and light in a way because the production sounds really heavy and dark and mysterious in a way, but her voice sounds more lighter on it. So it's kind of tailoring through the two streams of that, which I enjoy a lot. So it starts with that kind of I would say more dystopian sound is a good way to explain it. Forever is good. Let's see, where was I? 7 Years is another good song. You have other songs in the middle of the album, so you have two sides of this album. The opening is more like kind of dark. You have a couple generic popish songs in there, and then you have Enemy, I Finally Understand, C2.0, which are like really out there. Enemy is a fantastic track.
I really like
very, very, very good. And then you have I Finally Understand right after it, which straight up sounds like Mode Selector, which I'm like, what the fuck is this song? Because I did not expect her to play with a EDM beat that's like chopped up into 3 bits like Mode Selector does in like 2002, which is a really niche genre to play with as a pop artist.
So the thing with this album, to me, my hot take with it is it sounds like really poppy Sophie, because it's industrial in a lot of ways. Like it plays with industrial motifs and instrumental and sounds, especially in a lot of the drums and percussion. Whereas Sophie's significantally more experimental and kind of avant-garde, to the point where like the first time you listen to it, you're like, I'm not sure if I liked her last album. Yeah. But like you got it for what it was. It was very industrial and experimental.
Exactly.
This is a lot more of a mainstream pop. It's a lot easier to get into.
But it is
inspired by industrial electronic music and experiments a little bit.
Yeah, because that's what, like Mode Selector, even some Bjork, because you have Bjork in like the late 2000s that has some of this industrial sound, which I think I said the same thing with Sophie, because that one reminded me of that. Sophie, it's hard to listen to in the way where, because it's so avant-garde in that way, where
it can be a lot. It can be very overwhelming. There's not a lot of cohesion on purpose.
Exactly, which I can understand as an artist, which I did say. This is definitely more into the realm of, like you were saying, that easier to listen to of experimental, but this is to me a bridge of experimental and pop. So this is a way for a lot of people to get into different music. So I think this is actually good for a lot of fans out there, because she has a pretty big base and whatnot. She has a big name and everything for it.
She has a Netflix show.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
I mean, everyone does.
I mean, yeah, Taylor Swift does, so why not? Anyways, to where you can have young fans and stuff of her now get into the realm of deep diving into different music if they like this album. So example, you can go into be like, what are other artists that sound like this? And then they could expand their horizons.
You understand there's like an extreme pipeline between Charli XCX to Sophie to Vince Staples.
Wow, whoa, all right, that's
because Sophie produced and a lot of her sounds are like
whoever produced Back though needs like 16 awards for that song. So
that may have also
I know she did and did she do Samo or something? And then she
Samo, and there's also one with Flume on there as well. I forgot.
That's why that album's like on a top god tier for me. But anyways, at the end of the album, you have a little bit more poppy after the experimental. But then you get the last song, Visions, which the last like minute of it is just straight up like Scream like 2003 Scream garage weird mixes in the beat, and then you just have like at the end. I'm like, this is hilarious because it's out there. And for a pop artist to do that, I really respect her for doing this.
Another thing with this album is that like it's a quarantine album, so the expectations are kind of kept inherently low.
Yeah, because she made this up in like a month and a half.
Yeah, a month and a half. Here's where it does show. As an album, it doesn't play as well through as Charli. Charli feels a lot more complete. This feels closer to a collection of songs. But again, like
it's not
my
cohesive
expectations
at all.
are lowered because it is A, kind of meant to be a raw expression of the moment and how she's feeling in the moment, while B, an opportunity, at least with production, to experiment a lot of different sounds. Not just her alone. She worked with a lot of other producers on making this too.
I figured.
But even then, I think because you're working with a lot of producers, you're experimenting a lot, and you're doing this in a short period of time, that's the trade-off to not making it sound as cohesive. However, it's like, again, like it's like Gorillaz The Fall. It's just like an album in the middle of things made by someone who has a lot of musical ideas in their head and doesn't want to go like completely mad and stir crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's unlike The Fall, which is basically 3 songs and just like kind of random and made on an iPad to prove a point. This is just really it sounds generally nice. And there's songs off of this that I would like.
There's for sure. This makes me really respect her as an artist. Because when she was saying I'm gonna make a quarantine album, I'm like, okay, there's 2 ways this can go. There's 2 ways this can go. This can go to Lana Del Rey, be like, oh, I'm sad.
I have an acoustic guitar.
I'm Miss Americana. I forget that Venice is not in Long Beach. Oh, I'm all sad.
She is British though. Charli XCX.
And then you go, and then she does it like, shit's fucked up and bullshit. But you know what? Let's make some good music. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, World's Terrible music's great. That's pure Audioface right there.
And this album is right there.
Stores you'd want to go back to after things reopen, which is a very fitting album.
Stores I want to go back to.
Or like places, establishments.
This is...
very fitting since this is a quarantine album.
This is the hockey rink for me.
For you, yes.
Like, this is me going, not to play a game, because it's not like God tier, but it's to skate. Like that first opening skate back, when I'm going to eat shit like 30 times, because I haven't been on its blades in like 3 months. It's just that first feeling you get in the ice, you hear the sounds, you're like, oh, I'm back home, baby. That's this album.
For me, this is an obscure jazz bar in a part of LA that is about to be gentrified, but hasn't yet, so it's still kind of tolerable.
I think I know what you're talking about, which is hilarious.
It's not a particular jazz bar, but like it's just like a certain vibe and feeling where like, this is cool, but not too cool. There's people here.
You know Tori Amos hiding in the corner back there watching.
Yeah, there's a Starline Social Club is I think a place in Oakland that is very similar to this vibe all the time.